Warning, the following video contains a gratuitous amount of someone else's opinion. Viewer discretion is advised.
I've seen quite a few people talk about how great the courtyard of Peach's Castle in Super Mario 64 is at letting the player practice and learn the game's mechanics in a safe area. And while I suppose that it could potentially do a decent enough job at that, it suffers from a couple of significant flaws that, in my mind, work against that idea pretty heavily. As soon as Mario jumps from the pipe, you get a couple of sentences worth of text that give you basic instructions and then tell you to enter the castle. And doing this, Mario 64 has actively encouraged you to skip the courtyard completely, and if you're anything like I was as a child, that's exactly what you did. But let's say for argument that you don't listen and instead decide to look around a bit. The courtyard is very limited in what information it gives you. It's got a couple of signs that teach you a few of the basic moves, but it doesn't reward you for your exploration. It doesn't offer anything in the way of collectibles, and the failure to do so runs counter to the rest of Mario 64's gameplay. Luckily in the case of Mario 64, this isn't that big a deal. By playing through the levels in the normal pattern, you learn everything that the courtyard could teach you and more, and you do it in situations where it's necessary for progression, instead of just messing around for messing around's sake like you would if you remained outside. There is, however, a location on the Nintendo 64 that does everything I hear people claim for Mario 64's courtyard and then some. Banjo-Kazooie Spiral Mountain. To fully recognize the genius of Spiral Mountain, you have to first look at it through the lens of a brand new player. After watching the game's introductory cutscene, you're dropped directly outside Banjo's house. At this point, none of the duo's moves are available to you, and even Banjo's standard jump comes up pathetically short, so you just have to make your way out of Banjo's yard past Bottle's molehill. This interaction sets up the tutorial with Bottles offering to teach Banjo and Kazooie the basics, and also gives the player the first taste of the back and forth between Bottles and Kazooie that's prevalent throughout the game. After that, the game's path leads you straight to the next molehill where Bottles will teach the player about camera controls, and at this point the tutorial opens up considerably. There are 5 additional molehills surrounding Spiral Mountain in a circular fashion, and they can be tackled in any order. On top of teaching you all the game's basic moves like combat, swimming, and different jumping techniques, they also give you a safe environment to test out these new skills, as well as a reward for completing them in the form of empty honeycomb pieces. To go with the 5 you can collect while trying out your newfound skill set, there's a 6th empty honeycomb just off the beaten path that allows you to test out a slightly tougher platforming challenge, while still doing so in a forgiving environment, so that if you fall, you can just get back up and try again. Collecting the final piece increases the duo's health bar from 5 honeycombs to 6, giving an early leg up to players willing to take the time to collect all the pieces. Some further exploration can reveal 2 extra lives as well, teaching the player that not only is it worth it to go to every part of the map to search for collectibles, a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking will often be rewarded as well. And with that, you're officially prepared to head off into Grunty's lair, knowledgeable in how to put the game's moves to good use, an extra bit of health to help you out along the way, and a couple of spare lives to take with you just in case. Spiral Mountain has served its purpose as an exceptional tutorial for new players to really get into the flow, while also teaching the core game mechanic of exploration in a highly effective way. But despite how well thought out and phenomenally executed it is, there is one flaw with it. It's a fairly hand-holdy experience, and at 10 to 15 minutes, is a bit drawn out to be done over and over on repeat playthroughs. Especially if you're someone like me that's played the game dozens of times over the years, which is why it's lucky that it's 100% optional. The option is given to you when you're talking to Bottles for the first time to have him just give you all the basic moves immediately, and you can go on your way with no questions asked. You still have the option to collect all the empty honeycombs if you want to increase your life bar, but alternatively you can just rush straight to the top of Spiral Mountain and into Grunty's lair without even giving the area a second thought, entering into Mumbo's Mountain in just a couple of minutes. Skipping the empty honeycombs doesn't even affect your ability to max out Banjo's health bar. There are 24 total empty honeycombs to collect, and the maximum number of health honeycombs Banjo can have is 8, meaning that 6 of those 24 are completely unnecessary for anything other than achieving 100% completion. So regardless of how you choose to take on Spiral Mountain, it'll never truly be to your detriment in the long run. I started off this video by talking about Super Mario 64 because I feel like this is an area where it gets a lot of undue praise, and one where I don't see Banjo-Kazooie get nearly as much credit as it deserves. It's truly ingenious game design that definitely deserves to be put on a pedestal. That's all I've got to say for today, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the best introductory level in gaming? Do you agree that Peach's Castle Courtyard is overrated? Or maybe you hate Spiral Mountain and you think I'm an idiot for thinking that it's great? Let me know in the comments. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful sponsor. Where's the sponsor?
Yeah, we don't have a sponsor.
Oh, well then. I guess I'm gonna go back to eating cat food. Better luck next time, right guys? Man, this stuff's awful. Don't know why cats want to eat this. No! My cat food! Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, click on that subscribe button down below. If you want to see more Banjo-related content, check out this Let's Play made by my friends over at GameFace. Or, if you're looking for something a little bit different, how about this video by my friend Hasey on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? Regardless, I hope to see you next time. Bye.